This guy thinks he can show off his engine. Get out of my way, Shmee! Whatever! Oh! This weekend, it's an i8 kind of weekend. This is what I've got in my parking spot today. When you look at it, it's like stepping into the future, don't you think? I mean, looks-wise, this is my favorite car at the moment. Engine-wise, maybe a different story, but looks-wise for sure. It is UAE National Day here today, and what do you think people do in the UAE to celebrate? We get together with our supercars. So I'm going to be going to the Autodrome here in Dubai, where there's going to be about 400 cars. Let's go. Four-seater as well. I quite like getting into this car. It's like you just fall into it. It's cool. And inside, doesn't it look awesome? Cars off, cars on. It's pretty cool, huh? It's the silent beast. Absolute silence in this car. I'm in hybrid mode at the moment. So electric mode as we go around this corner, but if you speed up too quickly, the petrol engine kicks in. Did you hear that? So now we've got the petrol engine working. So I'm going to show you something pretty cool here on the dashboard. When you're in electric mode, everything's in blue, and then once you switch it into petrol mode, everything turns red, so you know exactly which mode you're in. Because sometimes, to be honest, when the petrol mode is kicked in, the engine isn't very loud, so you don't always know it. That's the thing. I'm in electric mode right now, super quiet. The only thing you can hear, you may be able to hear it, is a little like a buzzing noise, kind of like you're in a spaceship. I quite enjoy that noise actually. This guy thinks he can show off his engine. I've got two engines, but does it sound like that? No. And that's okay, because that's not why you buy the i8. You buy it for other reasons. It's a super smooth drive because of the electric engine. Of course, if you care about the environment, that's also a good thing. So now we're going to the UAE National Day car event, and I have to say it is pretty much V8 central. Just take a look to your right. What do you see? Oh, Mustang Central it is here. So I'm not sure how we're going to go with our i8. Although look at this guy, he's already filming us. This is something. Wow. So this is your outer limit?
Yes.
And so you can do whatever you want with this space?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, maybe I should put some spikes on my i8. This car has a 1.5 litre engine, petrol engine, and it gets about 230 horsepower, but then with the electric engine you get another 130 horsepower on top of that. So what we're doing now is we're about to meet with Shmee. It's on. How are you?
How you doing?
How'd you get here so quickly?
Easy ride.
Here in the McLaren. Sorry,
It's a quick car.
Get out.
We've both got doors that do this.
I know, of course we do. if you were to have to compare these two cars, I know you can't really, they're so completely different. Where does the i8 win?
It has an electric mode. It will go further on. It will go further on electric power.
Winning. See?
Winning from the word go. What can I say?
Get out of my way, Shmee. Whatever. Alright, we've got to make sure we win. So I just arrived. I don't know where Shmee is. Super slow, this guy. So, this is Shmee, needs no introduction.
Hello.
He's just been lathering up on sunscreen.
Because I need it badly.
English boy in the desert.
I was going to say, you literally have brought me to the middle of, I don't even know, to the middle of nowhere.
You know, I said, I've got this really nice stretch of road here that we can go to. He goes, yeah, this is bloody typical in Dubai. It goes nowhere. And he's right.
Literally, it's a U-turn in the sand. And then we'd go and park on...
This is the kind of stuff we do on the weekends here in Dubai.
Yeah.
You know, find a patch of sand and just
fun.
park there. So anyways, so I thought we'd just take this opportunity because Shmee is in Dubai just this week, isn't it? Just 10 days or so.
10 days or so, a couple of events, the Grand Prix and then National Day, of course.
Catch up with him, see what he's all about. Who is the real Shmee? Dun dun dun!
Good question.
Yes. Shmee, first of all, I don't know, I should know this. Should I know this? Why that name? Where's this come from?
It's like a nickname. You know, come on. You have a name, Radio Blondie.
Right.
We all have our names that started somewhere, that we signed up, whether it was when you signed up to email in the late 90s or early 2000s. I know that sounds weird
like
saying
hotstuff@gmail.com.
Yeah. And everybody of this sort of age generation has that.
Yeah.
Everybody has something. It's what they use, and it's what you use for your email, it's what you used if you signed up for a shopping website, for eBay, for your Yahoo account.
You were forward thinking though, getting just one name for everything back then.
Well, I think that was mostly a sort of thing of chance, that the name I happened to pick is something so stupid no one else would have the same. So Shmee was like my name for computer games. That was probably the main one actually as a teenager. 15 years ago, so playing online games when that came in.
But how did you come up with Shmee?
I don't know.
Because I mean, Radio Blondie, it's like I'm on the radio and I've got blonde hair.
Yeah.
Shmee is like what is Shmee?
I don't really know. It was just a name. Because I signed up. I think we worked out I used it first when I was about 9 years old.
Okay.
So
yeah, it's just stuck.
Yep, it's there. And then I know where the 150 came from, because one time when I tried
that wasn't going to be my next question. By the way,
I'm going to tell you anyway. When I signed up to a website once, Shmee was already taken. Yeah. So it offered me, do you want Shmee 9876543, whatever. Right. And I just clicked Shmee 150.
150.
There it is.
And that was the second option or something, Shmee 150.
And there it is.
And it stuck. You've been here for 10 days or so now. What's the best thing you've seen? Because you have literally had back-to-back schedule.
Yeah. I've literally been on the go from waking up in the morning.
Yeah.
And early for here.
Yeah.
Most people here seem to get up quite late, or in the car world they do.
Yeah.
Until pretty late at night. I flew out with one thing planned, which was to go to the Grand Prix. Immediately met up with a friend who's just taken delivery of a McLaren MSO HS, which is new and very, very cool. Then in the afternoon, a friend who's got a Veyron Vitesse. Then next day, sorted out going to watch the Grand Prix from a yacht, which was an amazing day. Obviously, I think probably my favourite thing I've done, which is not necessarily because it's the newest, latest, was driving a Porsche Carrera GT.
Is that the first time you've driven a Carrera GT?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
so it was basically. So I mean, I'm very fortunate. I've been able to drive an awful lot of rather nice cars.
Yeah. I was speaking to you earlier this week, and you're like, yeah, I've like been in about 150 Veyrons.
Something like that. Well, seen. I've driven a couple, been in a couple, driven one just before coming here, as it happens. But like my short list of cars, so I've driven most of the modern stuff, your LaFerrari P1 918, Veyron, Huayra, Koenigseggs, that kind of stuff. But I'm trying to go through the backlog, and I've driven some things like the Enzo, MC12, F50, F40. But one of the cars that's been really missing for me that I haven't ever driven but obviously know a lot about is the Carrera GT. Right. And it's obviously come to a lot of fame for how challenging it is to drive and how dangerous it may or may not be. Obviously the Paul Walker incident that everybody knows about. So I've always been intrigued to drive it, but I've never found one that I've been able to get behind the wheel of.
So
that happened.
What was it like? I mean,
freaking awesome.
Was it really?
Yeah, utterly brilliant.
Was
it's a
it
beautiful
difficult to
setup.
drive?
Yeah, the clutch is definitely challenging. I didn't stall it, which I'm
Nice.
proud to say.
Yeah.
Well, I think a lot of people do first go. But it has a beautiful sounding V10 and a very nicely set up manual gearbox, so it's a dream.
Oh, what cars do you own right now? I know, how many do you have?
At the moment, so as of right now, 5.
5 cars, okay.
Flagship, the McLaren 675 LT Spider.
Yep.
Following a few McLarens, that's my sort of favourite car.
What's the first McLaren you bought?
I had a 12C.
Okay.
Then the 650S, which was like the facelift. Then the 675 LT Coupe, which is like the hardcore track version. Then the LT Spider, which is the posery version of the version, let's call it. But I drive it a lot. I've had this one for about 3.5 months now, and it's done 9,000 kilometers already. So.
And this is the one that you've got in purple with sparkly bits all over
custom
it.
purple. It's purple with blue sparkle, and the blue sparkles are in the same colour as my coupe I had before.
How do you get away with that in London? Like driving
I don't
around
know.
a sparkly purple car.
The car spends most of its life not in London.
Right, okay.
It's been to Bosnia, Montenegro, Croatia, Spain, and everywhere between, everywhere through Europe. So that's like the flagship. Then I have a Ferrari FF, 4-seat, my practical daily car with a massive V12.
Why do you have a 4-seater? I mean, do you really need one?
No.
No.
But sometimes, you know, I've used the car to lug a set of tyres in it for the McLaren.
What, you use an FF to lug a set of tyres in the back for the McLaren?
Yeah, that's happened.
What?
It's been to IKEA. I went and bought like a 2 and a bit metre tall cabinet, and that fit in the back of the Ferrari.
Are you serious?
Do you know what? I think it's.
What
just
about an
a bit of fun.
ironing board? Just throw down the window.
Here's my philosophy. A daily driver generally is just a car that you're going to use for going to A to B.
Yeah.
But quite often you're going to be sat in traffic, you're going to be bored, miserable, depressed, whatever.
In a Ferrari?
In the UK, no, we haven't got the Ferrari.
Oh, right.
But in the UK, we have pretty bad traffic all the time, every day.
And it's bad weather, as you mentioned.
Yes.
It's pretty miserable, yeah.
So why not try and cheer yourself up in traffic by driving in something that's awesome?
I totally get it.
I'd rather be stuck in a traffic jam in something cool than...
People say here all the time, it's a car, it gets you from A to B.
No.
No, it doesn't.
It's how it makes you feel, it's how it makes people around you feel. That's a big thing.
Yeah.
Like, I certainly feel that, you know, if I am ever coming back to my car in a car park or something and there's some kids around, let's say, letting them have a sit in it, have a look around, it's like an aspirational kind of thing. It sets them some targets and things, and I think it's really cool to be able to share, like, my position, being able to drive the cars with other people.
So what you're saying is, this is your community service, driving Ferraris and McLarens. I get it, Shmee.
Nice spin,
Totally
nice
get
spin,
it.
nice spin.
Now, someone told me, a little birdie, that you are going to be buying 10 new cars this year. Is that right?
I don't necessarily know in a year, but
in
there's
a few years.
There's things happening.
Right.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah, spoiler. YouTube video name, Shmee buys 10 new cars in 1 year. Okay, so what's going on?
I think basically, so I've got a couple of cars on order. On my channel, I've got my Aston Martin Vantage GT8, which is a pretty limited car. That's coming in to basically replace my current Porsche Cayman GT4, which is up for sale at the moment. That's going to arrive in the next couple of weeks, which is quite exciting.
Ooh.
Then I also have, just what I'm thinking about, a Ford Focus RS and an old Mini, which is my London car. So the Porsche is going for the Aston. Then at some point next year is the Mercedes AMG GTR, which is going to be like my road tripping kind of car. I want to do loads of miles on it, and it's my first Mercedes, so I want to discover what they're all about. So that's going to come in. I've just heard there might be a little delay, so that'll be summertime, I think. Then the Ford GT, I've also said is incoming.
Ooh, nice.
I was lucky enough to get an allocation from Ford.
How many are they making?
Initial run 500. There'll be another batch, but they haven't said how many. Probably 400 cars, 450 cars. But I think for the UK, we're sort of talking 15 most kind of thing, because more than half the cars. Well, they haven't actually said allocations yet, but more than half of them will go to America. Yeah. I presume the UK there'll be a bit of a delay, but that's obviously a pretty exciting car.
That's going to be super awesome. So what do you want to do with that car? What is that car to you? You know, you've got your everyday car, you've got your mileage car.
Well, do you know what? This is one of the really funny things. Ford GT, so there are a lot of people, car fans out there, myself included, who are mad about this car, but we don't actually yet know how much horsepower it's got. They've just said over 600. We don't know what it weighs. We don't know lots of the features. It's
like a mystery box.
We don't know its performance capabilities.
That's cool.
So I'm feeling a bit like I'm desperately excited about this thing, but I don't know what it is or what it's going to do.
It's like unwrapping a present at Christmas, right?
I think it's and it's going to be, you know, I guess the pinnacle of my collection. It sits slightly above the LT Spider.
So it's going to be your show-off car, kind of.
Yeah.
Go park it.
But you know what? I'm not going to just, you know, ship it to something and then appear and then put it back home again.
Yeah.
I want to try and share the car, like take it. I want to if I'm not going to use it for a month, I want to send it on a tour of some dealers so people can go and see it. I want to take it to different countries. If things go completely in my direction, in my favour, sorry, I would like to do something cool with it when I take delivery of it in America, and then maybe pop it on a plane somewhere else in the world. Here might be fun.
Yeah,
and maybe
here
pop
would
it on
be
a plane
good.
back home. So if I get really lucky, and things go completely right, maybe in some strange world I'll end up with a UK registered Ford GT here.
That'd be awesome.
Which would just be ridiculously cool. But it's so backwards because obviously for me, where my YouTube channel started was actually filming a lot of the cars from here coming to London.
Oh right, okay.
Lots of the UAE plated cars coming for their summer holidays.
Supercar wise, where have you seen the best supercars? You've been everywhere to look around.
Goodness. So there are basically 4 places. London in the south of England, LA in California,
right?
Dubai and the UAE.
Yeah.
Did he say Dubai?
Yeah, I did. Dubai.
Dubai, we're right here, Supercar Central.
And Monaco, south of France. So for me, it's those 4 places. I was actually thinking about this the other day, like spending how a theoretical world could work, spending sort of a quarter of the year in each of those 4 places.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
It would be pretty awesome, wouldn't it? Really.
Is there anything that people don't know about you?
Behind the scenes?
No. So,
I'm not saying.
Shmee wants to try and tell you that he's normal. You're a normal person. Is that what you want to get across? That you're a nice, normal person.
It's taken a very long time, and half of that, or more than half of that, it was not a business. It was just a hobby. Starting uploading videos 7 or 8 years ago was just a video every day because it was fun.
Yeah.
The cars are fun. The cars are cool.
Of course, and that's why you become so successful. You're doing what you love. So you're telling me that it's not your good looks?
I don't think so.
No?
Nah.
Not the good looks and personality token.
Nah,
No.
the cars.
All right.
The cars in the background.
Cars
they
talk
do the
for you,
talking.
yeah. All right, well, let's go for a spin. Okay. All right, let's see what you got.
Yeah, first time, just a quick sort of preview thing.
So how many times have you driven an i8 before?
Only twice, I think.
Yeah.
First time, just a quick sort of preview thing. Second time, I had a decent test of it out in Germany.
Okay.
Let's get this window closed as well.
What did you think initially when you drove it?
I think the cool thing about it is how futuristic it is.
Yeah.
You look at it, and the phrase I used before is basically that it looks like a concept car that's turned out into a production vehicle.
That's exactly it.
And then you start driving it like this, and this is electric. The sort of UFO kind
It's
of noise.
super cool. The noise that you...
really cool. Just the
That's all
little
you get.
whir.
Yeah.
And it's so peaceful. Yet if you want to drive it in a sporty way, it handles well. You've got the carbon tub. You've got the inline 3-cylinder engine kicks in.
Yeah.
And things spruce up a little bit.
Yeah. The thing is that you've got speakers here, don't you?
Yep. The noise is semi-artificial. It's most strange, but
it's got some go-getter.
Yeah, there's a lot of torque. There is a lot of torque. It pulls away, kind of surprisingly actually.
Would you enjoy driving this car every day just because it's so smooth?
Yeah, I mean you don't have to drive it like this. Let's take it back out of sport mode, and that's where it does its funky thing with going in and out of hybrid mode. Yeah. And you know what? Actually, just thinking about that, this has the hybrid style technology that outside of like hypercar money, the McLaren P1, Ferrari LaFerrari, Porsche 918. This technology, it's only really this car and the Honda NSX.
Yeah.
Do you have? Is it Acura out here? Maybe.
We don't see a lot of them. We only see Prius.
Okay.
You've got this, or you got the Prius.
Well, that's like the. So we have Priuses everywhere in London. Like there are Nissan Patrols everywhere.
Right, exactly.
It's like the car of the road.
That's exactly it.
I mean, it's really clever. It's really trick. You're sort of as mesmerised by the technology as you are by actually driving it.
The novelty of driving this car is just seeing the looks from everyone else. You drive around, and especially here, I'm not sure about in London, but there are only a handful on the roads here in the UAE.
Well, people see it and they're like, they firstly they're like, oh, that looks cool, and then they see the BMW badge.
Yeah,
and they're like,
what?
Wow, BMW make a car that looks like that.
That's exactly it.
I think honestly, it's a little underpowered.
Yeah.
The total power is 350 horsepower, which does not get you performance figures that a car of this price tag, in my opinion, should.
Yeah.
But that is because it is an entry into this sort of technology market.
All right, so we've got Shmee's take on the i8.
Yeah. Overall, I like it.
Out of 10?
Oh, do I have to give it a number out of 10?
No, I'm just testing you. It's like, no, I want them to give me an i8 one day. I'm not going to say that.
I'm not going to criticise it. I think it's a great car, but you'd have to start thinking steering characteristics, handling characteristics, like performance and everything, and draw up a number.
Yeah. No, I forgive you.
Somewhere in the sort of somewhere. Do you know what? Actually, I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Ooh!
But hold on, I'm quite real with my numbers. I'm not going to have every car in the like 8 to 10 bracket.
What's a 10? Have you given any car a
10? 10 is a 675 LT.
Ah, sure. Okay, of course it is. All right, well, Shmee, it's been an amazing time.
Likewise, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for meeting with me. And we'll get you back into some aircon, proper aircon.
Well, this is good. I can stay here.
You can just chill here.
This is perfect. I don't need to get out.
Cool. All right.
Good.
Yeah. Decent drive. I just wanted to ask you, what's your favourite car?
Do you know what? Genuinely, favourite car in the world to drive if I could own any that I've driven. So I can only go from experience. The Carrera GT this week and the Ferrari F50.
Just because of the novelty value, the
No,
GT?
because the way they make you feel. Both cars have 6-speed manuals, proper involvement. The Ferrari has a V12 that's derived from the Formula 1 car. The Porsche has a V10 that's derived from their Le Mans car. They are race-inspired cars, fully for the road, all about experience, and they are both epic.
Alright, there you go, you got it from him.
Favourite food in Dubai? I'm loving it. Welcome to McDonald's.
I'm not at McDonald's, I swear.
No? It's the imagination.
I only eat salads.
I see arches. Golden arches.
Alright, that's it, guys. Had a fantastic day. It was awesome to meet Shmee. Such a nice guy. And enjoy the rest of the weekend. I hope you guys have an awesome one too. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Alright, I made it.